Hi there, my name is Judith, and I'm volunteering as a European volunteer from Germany for a year at the largest World War II cemetery in Western Europe, located in Lommel in Belgium. During my time here, I had a chance to meet and interview a very interesting and special person named Miel. Actually, he told me his name hasn't always been Miel. His first name was Miel Andriesse, given to him by his parents. He was born in Eindhoven as a Jew and lived through the war. If you want to hear what happened with him and his family, I can share you what he told me about himself and his story. Everything started with Miel's parents. Their name was Nathan Andries and Clara Hagen. His mother, Clara Hagen, was born in 1916 in Goeree-Overflage near Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, and she moved with her family to Os in Brabant. Her father was looking for work in the big industries in Overloon. Clara studied and worked in many places until she met Nathan Andries, who was born in Streep in 1907. They married in 1941, and Clara's last name changed to Clara Andries Hagen. They stayed and lived in Eindhoven. After Clara was pregnant, 10 months later Samuel Andries was born. In 1943, when Samuel was 1 year old, his parents searched for a safe hiding place because the Germans had marched into Eindhoven, and Hitler's ideologies and Nazis were targeting Jewish people. The family wanted to flee, but it wasn't easy. Many people would only take in adults or only children, and for anyone who wanted to hide someone, it was too dangerous. Also, Jews who were found were taken and directly deported to concentration camps. His parents had to act quickly and decided to take care of their child first. Approximately 13 months later, they found someone to take him in, and they needed to separate from him. After Clara and Nathan, his parents, separated from him, they couldn't see him again. Samuel were moving from one family to another frequently, because it was too dangerous due to the presence of informants and people who would give names and persons away to the Nazis. So the journey continued during night, where it was safer. He was too young to remember anything. During the hiding time, Samuel was sent to Helmond to stay with his last hidden family, the Verhees family. For 2 years he stayed there. They were known as Moosje and Oom Karel. And they had 3 daughters, Ellie, Tony and Rick, aged between 16 and 20. Because it was still dangerous and his name sounded too Jewish, they needed to change his name because of the Nazis. To protect him, they changed his name to Miel Verhees. Miel couldn't go outside much and needed to stay indoors to be safe. So to keep him company, they got a dog named Fidi. During his time in Helmond, the family treated Miel very well, and his sisters pampered him. He was never hungry. His uncle Karel, his hidden father, would always go to the farmer with a spike and ask for extra food. When he put the food on the table, he would ask, "Who is this for?" And Miel would always shout, "For Mieltje." Miel had a wonderful time until 1945. 1945. He was still with the Verhees family. After the war, his grandmother and Aunt Cohen from Tilburg searched for family members. This side of the family was from his father's side. His mother's side did not survive. His grandmother survived by hiding with 2 daughters from the Nazis. They searched for Miel's parents after the war, but they were nowhere to be found. With the help of an organization, they found Miel in Helmond. His grandmother visited him and took him in against his will with the help of a Jewish organization. Miel's name changed to Miel Cohen when he stayed at 4 years old in a cramped house in Tilburg. He lived there with his grandmother, his aunt, his uncle, a stepsister born in 1938, and a stepbrother born in 1948. It was important to them that Miel grew up in a Jewish home, but Miel was too young to understand why he had to leave his beloved family. He was not happy with his current family, and he did not feel at home at all. His aunt was not good at him, because she did not want him. But his grandmother and uncle, the aunt's husband, insisted. They also lived in a house which was very crowded. The only one who was kind to him was his uncle. His grandmother spoiled him, because he was his father's son, which put pressure on the family. When Miel turned 11 in 1953, he realized he had no parents. His grandmother died, leaving Miel feeling alone. His aunt became even more horrible to him, and things did not improve. He felt something was wrong. He was alone. During the summer, he visited his other family and wanted to stay there. That was where he truly felt at home. In the end, when he had to leave, everyone cried. Later on, Miel told me it was really a drama. When Miel turned 13, a family friend told at his bar mitzvah who he really were. Until so far, his family kept silent. But now Miel could hear who he were. He couldn't concentrate at school and dropped out of secondary school. Also, he couldn't hear everything from this friend. So he had an identity crisis. Who were he? What happened to his family? What happened to his parents? He couldn't tell. And it was a really, really difficult time for him. When Miel turned 18, he joined the military for 8.5 months because of conscription, until his uncle decided to take him out and go to live with the family in Israel. Miel moved there in 1962 and fell in love with his now ex-wife. His wife's father had to flee during the war from Russia to Germany. There he met his wife in Berlin, and they fled to Palestine, where he worked as a psychologist. Miel's wife was born there in 1947. She knew about everything that had happened and understood Miel. Because his wife wanted to live in the Netherlands, and Miel received a good job offer, they returned after 70 years to live there again. You probably wonder what had happened with his parents after they gave him away. After 1951, Miel found out, with documents from organizations and their help, and his own research, he found out that his parents were hiding in the Netherlands, but the Nazis found them and took them directly to Auschwitz in Poland. Miel finally had the courage to visit Auschwitz, because it was emotionally exhausting. When Miel took steps in Auschwitz, he went to the gas chambers and imagined these were the last steps of his parents, where they died. He saw the names in the records and discovered that his mother, Clara Andries Hagen, died on January 31st, 1944. His father worked hard and also died on January 31st, 1944. Miel told himself it would have been better not to know what happened to his mother. He didn't have the courage to visit Auschwitz. It was a very emotional experience. His ex-wife had also been there with his daughter, and when his grandchild is old enough, he may return. The parents of Miel got a Stolperstein in Eindhoven where they lived. They got it from the Stolperstein Commission, from the founder themselves. And every Remembrance Day he may return, clean their stones and talk to them, 'cause it is the only place they got to remember them. After the whole time of changing his name, he could have also changed his name after the war, but he kept, in honor for his hidden parents, the name Miel as a nickname. And his name, Samuel, he kept it in honor for his parents, Clara and Nathan. 23 years ago, he started to talk about it for Volksbund, in Dutch, German, and English for students to learn. And his first time it was at his grandchild's school. It was very, very special for him. He stood in front of the class and said to himself, "Look, Nazis, you didn't succeed. I'm still here and I can even tell my grandchildren about it." That was very special. Miel noticed a difference over time. The first student who came here and felt guilty, he always told, "Don't feel guilty. It's not your fault. If you want to feel ashamed, then so be it. But you can't change the past. You can only influence the future." Me sees the difference between now and 20 years ago. The new generation don't feel guilty anymore. They've accepted that they can't be held accountable for it. The war is getting further and further away. I feel good about telling German students about it. My privilege is that I can talk about it. I know many people with the same background as me who couldn't talk about it. Some, but not most. When I talk about it, I feel like I'm honoring my parents and all the hidden people.